today's focus, we're going to talk about Heritage Week social media activity. We're going to look at visual marketing, then some Facebook tips, Twitter tips, hashtag marketing, and then some other tips and tricks on how to manage and schedule and have a plan for all of this activity. First of all, the Heritage Week event has they have their own platform as well as their website. They're also on Twitter and Facebook, and you can follow them at twitter.com/Heritage Week and facebook.com/Heritage Week. And what we're going to try to develop this year is the use of the Heritage Week hashtag. And if a hashtag sounds like a scary word, we're going to look through that as well. What's happening at the moment in digital marketing and social media channels is that visual marketing is what is growing. It's the content that people are sharing. It's the photos and videos and links, and it's the pictures. And as human beings, we're extremely nosy, and we love pictures of people. So if you're running an event with people coming to it, it's really important to capture all that and to share it. So studies show that blog posts, for instance, with visuals like photos or videos, drive up to 180% more engagement than those without. So when we talk about engagement, that's talking about people liking or sharing or commenting on a post, on a blog post. And this means that a visual image can allow people to digest your content and then decide if they want to continue to read the full article. So according to new research announced by Social Media Examiner, which is a really good website to stay up to date on social media tools, 70% of marketeers plan on using more visual content in 2014. So if you consider the events that you're going to be running, even if you're doing a photo call to launch the events maybe earlier in the summer, and all the photos that you're sending out to traditional press, all that content can be shared online. It can be shared on your Facebook page and your Twitter account. And you can send it to Heritage Week as well for them to reshare on their channels. So we're going to take a look at Facebook first of all. Facebook do's and don'ts. Use Facebook page and a profile. Make sure to add your picture and basic information. So using your logo if you have a logo and visual identity for your organisation. Find a voice for your organisation. So you might have a kind of a tone of language or certain words that you like to use. You might create a document around using Facebook for your organisation so that it can be passed on if you leave or if your team develops. Respond to comments and use Facebook scheduling to automate your posts during the week. So things to measure and track. These are kind of the starting points. If you don't measure anything at the moment, these would be good places to start. And eventually you start developing a more, I guess, more dynamic tracking system. So for your Facebook page, you could measure the monthly fan size, record the number of fans or likers you have on the first of every month to see what the growth is. So if you're getting new fans, you could be losing fans. It'll also tell you that. You can track the average number of likes or comments. So this is your what they call the engagement level. If you know the average number of times fans interacted with you for every single post, you'll be able to identify which discussions are of most interest to your fans. And that's all through the Facebook Insights section. And then post reach is a good indicator of the virality of your content. So that post might be seen by 1/5 of your fan base, but if it's a really funny picture, it might get shared and liked a lot more. And you can kind of start to see like what kind of content people like seeing. So edge rank means reach, how many people your content will be displayed to. If you manage your social media kind of maybe late at night and you're posting things late at night, not everyone's going to see your content, so it's really important to be using the scheduling tool, to be getting it out for like first thing in the morning. Most people are online Monday to Friday. At the weekend, there's a huge dip in internet activity. A lot of people are online Monday morning, but they have too much content because they're kind of overwhelmed with emails and everyone's trying to tell everything on Monday morning. So you kind of have to learn how to be smart about it and think, okay, maybe Tuesday morning is a good time to post. If you're running events for the weekend ahead, what day of the week do people consider planning for the weekend? So maybe it's Thursday and Friday, you post content about that. So here are some of the tips for your EdgeRank and to improve yours. So posting quality content that is relevant. There's a lot of pages that post cute pictures of monkeys and cats and dogs, and it has no relevance at all, but it gets cheap likes and cheap shares and cheap comments. So it's important not to do that. Stay true to what the message of your organisation is. So follow the rules of Facebook. Don't use any inappropriate language. They've got lots of guidelines on their website about content to post. Post format, photos and videos. Post frequency, regular posting. Post timing. Facebook Insights will also tell you when your fan base are online. So whether your demographic is male or female, or kind of consider the cycle of their day, and you can check when is the best time to target them and to post your content. And it's important to respond to fans. So even if you're posting content, people might be writing back asking information, and if it's of a sensitive nature, ask them to respond through a private message, or if you need to get private information off them, ask them to email you or contact you through a phone number. And then keep an open mind. This channel is always evolving and changing, and we can also learn a lot from each other. So heritage organisations and cultural organisations are always doing new and exciting things, and you could try things out like a Q&A, like asking people questions based around your organisation on Facebook and getting more people talking about you. Who's on Twitter for their organisation? Okay. Okay. Was that a hand up, or was that okay. So Twitter is a microblogging service, and users send and read tweets. So a tweet is a text message. Basically, Twitter was created for phones in 2006, and that's why the limit of what you can post on it is so small. So it's limited to 140 characters, and registered users can read and post tweets. You can look at a Twitter account and not have an account yourself, as long as the account is public. So some of the language and kind of words that we use, the hash symbol or hashtag it's kind of 2014 is really the year of the hashtag. It's been used in so much media and billboards, on TV, TV shows, hashtag VinB, where Vincent Brown reads out tweets that people are posting as they're watching his TV show. So a hashtag pulls together tweets by category. So these are just based on kind of location tweets that I would follow, location hashtags. The term retweet or RT is when somebody reshares your tweet. So it's kind of like a share on Facebook. And then a Twitter list, pulls together users by a specific subject and are created by other users. So you can follow public lists, and they're also a really powerful way to kind of get rid of all the noise and just listen to a specific community of people. Maybe, you might have an account for your organisation, and you might want to follow people around heritage or tourism or culture, so you could tag people by this list, and then very quickly you can check into that list and see what people are talking about or what's current and trending. The best place to use it then, using the hashtag sign before a keyword or phrase with no spaces in a tweet creates a hyperlink that when clicked shows all posts containing the same hashtag. So if I go back to Sligo tonight and I want to talk about the Heritage Week conference that I was at, but I'm not following everyone in the room, but if everyone here today goes away and logs into Twitter later and says, I was at hashtag Heritage Week conference training day, we'll all be able to see our tweets from all around Ireland and see other organisations and discover other partners and colleagues. So yeah, it's very simple to use it. Anyone can create a hashtag. There's no word that you register a hashtag, so you can create your own one for your own organisation, or you can create one for a campaign, a specific campaign. So the one that we'll use for Heritage Week this year is hashtag Heritage Week, and it gets used in other places around the world because other places have Heritage Weeks as well, but hopefully in the run-up to August, we'll kind of hijack it with all of our activity, and we'll be able to track all that content then. So yeah, Heritage Week increases the awareness of Ireland's national heritage, and we want to capture that awareness online. Heritage Week and promotional partners can reshare the content on Twitter and Facebook. We can tell other promotional bodies outside of our own networks that, you know, we could tell Fáilte Ireland, keep an eye on Heritage Week for some insight into our events around the country, and maybe they might find something to reshare. Fáilte Ireland and Tourism Ireland have the biggest Facebook pages of tourism agencies in the world, so they have a really strong fan base, and they love sharing new content, especially kind of fresh content. They like news stories from Ireland. Sometimes there's a little confusion about using a hashtag and a username. So Heritage Week has its own account, and that's twitter.com/Heritage Week, and that's kind of like the business page of Facebook. And that's where Heritage Week, the event coordinators will be promoting the different events that are happening. But the hashtag then is different. It's kind of user-generated content. So that's for the organisations that are participating. That's also for people that come into your buildings or your venues or attend your events. And the hashtag is for them to use as well. So if you tag a username, it just means that that account will be notified, and not everyone will see your tweet. However, if you use hashtag Heritage Week, we know that a lot more people will be checking that. And it's really easy. You can go to twitter.com. I'll actually show you an example next in the next slide. And you can also use a hashtag and a username in the same tweet. So you can tag Heritage Week and you can hashtag Heritage Week. This is an example that's quite active. So it's hashtag Love Dublin, and it's used by a lot of tourism bodies and hospitality providers. So if you go to twitter.com and do a search for hashtag Love Dublin, you'll see all this really rich content that's being shared from all across the county. So pictures of Dublin Bay cruises, Dublin Flea Market, which was on yesterday. You'll see lots and lots of content. And they also tagged an account in it. So they said, glorious day at the Dublin Bay Prawn F. That's the festival, yeah. So great to see how it's buzzing with activity. Love Dublin as the hashtag. So some more tips for using a hashtag. You can use at least one hashtag in a tweet. It's also acceptable to do 2 hashtags. You could use one to define the topic and the second to define location. It's not recommended to use 3 or more, as doing so very often, it's just not recommended at all. And you can use hashtags in a tweet or when you're responding to somebody. So if somebody has said something and you want to respond to it, you can do that. So some ideas on what to share. Pictures. They do tell 1,000 words when 140 characters are the limit. You could share updates from events and happenings in preparation for Heritage Week. Maybe some facts and figures you have, like public information available about your organisation. Then the more people we get to know about this hashtag, the more it's going to be used. So it's important to tell visitors to your organisation that you're using the hashtag. Tell your staff, and especially your front of house staff, that you're using it. You could print the hashtag on the front of promotional materials like posters and flyers, if you have balloons or anything like that. And also tell your local media about the hashtag by adding it to your press release. And local media are all becoming au fait with using hashtags in printed media. Don't use inappropriate language. Don't share pictures of young people unless you have parental consent. It's important to stay neutral, so your organisation's Twitter account is not your personal account. It's important to converse, so reply to people that have mentioned you and respond to any feedback, whether it's critical or positive. And don't use social media to over-promote, so it's about a two-way dialogue with your audience and potential audience. So these are just some of the smartphones apps that you can use. So there's Facebook Pages app, the Twitter app, Hootsuite, which is a social media dashboard that can let you schedule your tweets. And we'll wrap that up.